तू मेरा पिता, तू है मेरा माता, तू मेरा बंधप, तू मेरा भ्राता, तू मेरा राखा सबनी थाई तापोके हा काड़ा जियो तुमरी कृपा ते तुद पछाणा तू मेरी ओट तू है मेरा माणा तुझ बिन दूजा अवर न कोई सब तेरा खेल अखाड़ा जियो.
Welcome seekers to today's spiritual satsang titled Inner Experiences. I have with me is the Asia's main speaker, who is an advanced spiritual practitioner and also a disciple of a perfect living master. Okay, first question. How to determine the progress on the spiritual path? Is it measured only by inner experiences?
To determine the progress on the spiritual path of the master, this is the path of love and devotion. So ultimately, we determine our true spiritual progress by the level of love, unconditional love that you have toward the perfect living master, the one who gave you an initiation. But the progress also can be measured by inner experiences, especially the experiences that we travel through lower realms of existence. The experience that can be very obvious and can be measured is the experience where you have experience in astral level, in causal level, and in Parabram level. So those, for example, in the astral level, it contains 150 worlds. And those 150 worlds have a slightly different landmark. For example, Master sometimes say about the color of the astral sky, that is starting from the silver sky to purple and blue sky in the astral realm. So when you enter the lower part of the astral realm, you might experience slightly dim light, but in that light, your astral body will have a certain glow. That's the concept of the radiant form come from in this astral world. Apart from you yourself project some kind of light, you will see also everything like plant, animal, building will also have a certain glow. When you move up to the upper part of this astral world, you will also experience brighter light, like a white light, silver light. You can even see moon, sometimes many moons. And if that moon become brighter, you will see just like you see the sun. Sometimes there's only one sun, but sometimes there's many suns. And the special quality of the moon, sun, and the star in this astral world is that it's using like a portal. When you stay still enough, and when you start to recite their names to check whether whatever you see is real or beneficial to you or not, sometimes the sun that is beneficial for you at that time will come toward you and break open, using as the portal to cross from one astral level to another astral level, or even at the final step in this astral world, you will meet up with the ruler of this region. And when this ruler of this region see you, that you also traveling with the radiant form of the master, the ruler of this astral plane will step down from his throne, bow down to master, and let you and the radiant form of the master travel through another portal, which is underneath the throne that he sit. So that's the indication that you have experienced this astral world. In some scripture, they said, oh, somebody saw like 1,000 petals of lotus. That's also indication of the astral plane as well. And there's many more, because in this astral world is very complex. But the experience will be very obvious. You will see everything in form and shape. You will see deity, you will see angels, you will see a lot of things in human form, in plant form, in animal form. So that's the indication that you have direct experience of this astral realm. But my suggestion is that always recite the names to prevent all the negative entity that try to trap you in this astral traveling, astral journey for you. The next one is the causal plane. The causal plane, the sky in the causal plane is slightly different color. Start from the color of yellow to slightly orange sky. This is the causal sky. And within this causal plane, it can contain 150 to 200 worlds within the causal plane. In this causal plane, your experience will slightly different because we're existing as the concept over there. Sometimes you will see yourself as triangle. Sometimes you will see yourself as a circle. Sometimes you will see yourself as a square. It's not gonna make much sense, but when you're there, you will kind of have conversation. Maybe if you are a triangle, you have conversation with another square, and asking about the beginning of the world, right? So that's, in the causal plane, that's when you be able to access to Akashic record that actually it doesn't look like rivalry as such. Like you can see all the knowledge is floating in the sky, like a crown. And whenever you look, that cloud just float down to you and open up as the knowledge. So you can ask anything, any knowledge can come to you, but those knowledge will be only connect to the karmic realms, to the karmic world in the way that it makes sense to your mind. The next level is Param. In Param, it's already experienced beyond the mind. So you will not experience anything that makes sense that much apart from emptiness, Sunya, right? And apart from Mahasunya, you will experience the darkness. But in that darkness, also peace. In that darkness, you also experience some kind of love. And in this darkness, you will experience more longing to see your beloved master, longing to go to see the physical master, to make a proper connection. Because only through this very strong pulling of love connection, this love can pull you across this darkness, can pull you across Bhava Gufa, the turning cave. That is the, through what the end of Mahasuna. They are darkness that is actually turning downward. So any soul that has not been initiated by a Satguru, by a perfect living master, they cannot escape this darkness. They can practice themselves, gaining the self-enlightenment. But at this turning darkness is where their journey ends. Because this turning darkness will suck their soul inside, and their soul will go out from the other end of the darkness downward into the creation. So I would say, when scientists discover about black hole in the center of our galaxy, our universe, I would say the function is very, very similar to Bhava Gufa. But that is the physical thing, the nearest thing that we can say, that is close to this function of Bhava Gufa. So therefore, nobody actually escaped this dark turning cave unless you travel with radiant form of the perfect living master. So perfect living master can act as your beacon or light in those complete darkness and pull you across. Then after that, you enter Sachkhand area in Satlok. And that's when our soul journey ends there.
What is the sequence of inner experiences in the spiritual progress in the beginning? For example, the numbing of body parts, followed by the pain in the body parts, followed by the sound current, and then inner vision. Is there a sequence to the inner experiences on the spiritual path?
Yes, there is a standard sequence of experiences from the body to the senses and to the mind. The standard sequence will be, firstly, when you sit and meditate, and when you try to collect your attention at your wisdom eye center, you will start to feel numbing in your legs and arms, because the attention withdraw from legs and arms first, and then it will collect to the lowest point of your chakras, the lowest chakra of your body. After that, it travels up. The numbing feeling will start from the lower part of the body first as you withdraw the attention up. When your attention up to your wisdom eye center, you will start to experience light. The light will come. That's why sometimes Master mentioned about the radiant form of the Master come to greet us. But it's not, it's not like, a lot of time it's not the radiant form that look like our physical master. Because when our attention is not intense yet, we cannot see master fully. Sometimes we can see only a tiny star, a silver star. Sometimes we see only a moon or sun come and greet us. So any of those experience is good, because when you're there, you start to recite the names, and the right star, the right sun, the right moon, or the radiant form of the master will come toward you and break open. And when that portal is open, you will have access into the inner region of astral world, the causal world. And when you start to reach the Prabram level, you will start to experience the sound. Because in Prabram is only the darkness, right? So at that part, we can switch to hearing part, to the sound meditation part. The sound that you will hear in the beginning, even you in the astral and the causal plane, they are sound that is indication of the lower realm of existence as well. But according to Ishwar Puriji, Babaji, and Great Master, they mention about practice sound that we can have 300 practice sound, but only one sound that is pulling us up, and that sound, it sounds like a large bell sound, like a constant ringing of large bell. So that sound is the sound of our soul, and that sound pull us up to Prabram level. From the Prabram level, in the Sunnah, the sound will become finer and finer. The sound will become more like a soundless sound. The sound will certainly become the stillness. And in that stillness, you will have access to another level. Some might experience going to Malasova Lake, the purifying lake, where the soul has been washed from the black stain into a pure and beautiful soul again. So that's when you enter Mahasunya. In the Mahasunya, then again, some will experience some kind of sound and some will not. It depends on your journey coming down. The way you going back as the soul will be repeat the same sequence, will repeat the same thing. So it is very, very difficult to explain what sounded sound feel like unless you experience that. But in the sounded sound, you will feel very intense pulling of love from the master. The pulling that you feel that you about to lose yourself, to lose your own identity of everything. So that's when master will pull you across the turning cave of Baba Gufa to Sachkhand. And in Sachkhand, it's the home of the soul. People had said to me that, in Sachkhand, do you hear any trumpet, right? Any sound that's similar to that? I would say, from my direct experience, that's no sound like that. But I experienced that, master become one with the identity that I used to have. Like I just lose myself to the greater identity of master. So that's how I can, describe what is actually happening in Sachkhand. So therefore, your duty during meditation is only to withdraw your attention to your wisdom eye center. And after that, everything The journey through the creation from astral level to Sachkhand is in master hand. It's not in your hand. That's why, experience is good. Every inner experience is good. It's indication of what you're gonna experience. And then, it gives you encouragement to know where you are at. Why? Because people were asking me, whenever we do the meditation, do I have to start from the lowest chakra first and raising up to wisdom eye center and then start meditation? I said, no, not necessary. That process can only happen once in your lifetime, where you feel the withdrawal of attention up. After that, your attention go where your soul go. For example, on the initiation day, some initiate already experienced Parbrahm, already experienced the pooling of love and the darkness in Parbrahm level. So the next session, when you come back and meditate at home, you will start from Parbrahm level. You're not gonna start from the physical level, then astral, then causal, then Parbrahm. No. If you very sincere and you sit with the right attitude, right? Then right away, you start from where you left off. That's how we truly travel through these different level of creation inside.
Next question. Is it okay to share our inner experiences with others? Does it do any harm to your progress if you share your inner experiences?
This is very hot topic, right? That, we don't actually know whether we should share our experiences or not. Because in the beginning, when we start to meditating, going inside and seeing something in our meditation, we get very excited to tell other people our inner experience. And a lot of time when we are doing that, then we lose that experience, meaning that that experience never come back. Because sharing inner experience can provoke the ego, the I, that I doing this, I experience this. So Master always say to us that we should not share our inner experiences to others, only because you get very attached to those kind of experiences and thinking that you are the doer and not Master is the doer. So, but there's a catch in this. It's always advisory not to share inner experience unless you already have countless experience in your meditation where you don't care whether today in the meditation session you will experience seeing or hearing anything, because you have plenty of those already. So yes, if you are at that state where Master said your cup is already overflow, it means that you can share your inner experiences. Why? Because inner experiences is like this. You never repeat the same experience again, never. If it's real experience, you will only experience it once. And if you share that experience, inner experience to somebody, you have to prepare to lose. Meaning you will have to lose that inner experience and you never go back to the same experience ever again. So on that basis, if you prepare that, okay, It's like you have to give out your inner experience, to other people for the benefit of other people. Then yes, you can share. So in that way, it cannot provoke your ego in any way. But please check. You can always come to a perfect living master, the master that gives you initiation, to ask him and her whether it's good for you to share inner experiences case by case. Because sometimes Karl or negative power can use the inner experiences to draw your attention away from the part of the master, away from the soul. So they always using this trick, and this trick of inner experience always work. Work with all the yogis, work with all the people who meditate on mindfulness kind of meditation. It has always worked. Why? Firstly, maybe because they don't have protection inside. Being initiated of a perfect living master, at the time of initiation, master cloning himself or herself inside us and take care of us always, during our sleep, during our life, during our meditation. That's why master always try to prevent the force of negative power for us. But negative power have its own duty to drag the soul downward into the creation. So they create all the wonderful inner realm for us to do sightseeing. And this sightseeing never ends. You can dwell onto that for millions of years and you never reach the edge of it. So therefore, yes, so just be mindful of whatever you experience inside. Always check with your inner master. Always check with your physical master to know whether to share or not, to know whether you should take interest in those inner experiences or not.
What needs to be done to get inner experiences?
You don't actually need to do anything to get inner experience, because the real experience comes when you should have it. Why? Everybody will have a unique inner experience. Nobody alive has the same inner experience. Because we have made from the Creator, from different point of view of one Creator. So when we separate down into the creation, how we enter the creation, how we invest our time, spend time in each inner realm is different. So when we going back toward true home, to merge back with our Creator, we repeat that sequence again. So therefore, the inner experience that we gonna experience, it's already there for you to experience. Because you just repeat what you did in the past. But this time, you're not just visiting that. You're going back to close the chapter of each experiences that you has been doing in the past. So therefore, inner experience come and go. It didn't stay, because you have to be there and and fulfill your wish and close that chapter and move on, going up. So yes, never wish for inner experience, because you already have it all along. You just have to rediscover about that. And each time that you have any experience at all, please try to check, try to recite Simran, try to recite the holy name, the holy mantra that Master given to you at the time of initiation.
What if a disciple does not have any inner experiences? Does it mean he or she isn't progressing at all?
I know on this spiritual part, especially, the one who sincerely doing meditation every day as instructed by Master. They will, expecting that they will have some inner experience, or at least seeing the radiant form of the Master inside come and greet them. But it doesn't mean that everyone will have the same experience as the standard. Sometimes very advanced soul came back. For example, they already reached the level of Param, the level that they can become a Sat Guru, right? Sat with the D, Sat Guru. So those people don't have any experience. They don't see anything, or they don't hear anything in their meditation. But they will experience that the love will continue increasing. Every time they think of Master, every time they listen to Master Satsang, every time they go to see physical Master, or every time they among their friends having a conversation about Master. So that's also considered as real experience as well, the experience of true love.
Are there outer experiences also if we don't have the inner ones? If so, how are they different from the inner experiences?
The nature of this creation is that everything happens from inside first and then is projected outside. Just like our beloved Ishwapuriji said, this creation is like a projection from our greater awareness. So therefore, it's like a movie that the real film, the real movie is happened inside first and then is projected outside as the shadow creation. So yes, it's possible that you will have experiences from outside. At the same time, you experience something from the inside first. For example, experience of love. I have experience of love where I went to see our beloved Ishwapuriji in Singapore for the first time. And on that day, coming back, I saw the sunset in Singapore. And I remember I looked at the sunset with my friend saying that, why sunset is so beautiful today? I never see the sun this way before. I feel as if I hear the sun sing some love song to me in my heart. Then I realized that the experience that I have inside, the connection with a perfect living Master, it's awakened some kind of love of the Creator inside me. And then I start to see the creation through the Creator eye. That's why the sunset on that day is so beautiful. So this is the indication where, yes, when you experience something, you experience from inside first, and it's later on with time and space is project outside for you to experience.
Do all disciples have to go through the same experiences on the spiritual path?
No, in this point, I already previously answered. It depends how that character of the soul, right, coming down. into the creation, and the way it go back, that soul will repeat the same sequence, and nobody has the same experience at all, because we are different point of view of God, of the Creator.
What is the best way to know our progress on the spiritual path?
The best way is not to know your progress on your spiritual path. Because if you not know where you are at, then you don't have ego. You are the humblest of the humblest person in this planet. The best way is not to have any experience or to know how much you progress. The best way is knowing that you want to serve. You want to do seva for your master 24/7. I previously had a conversation with a brother. He said about the story of Bibi Ruko, right? Bibi Ruko. And Bibi Ruko served 3 masters. And somebody asked her, does she want to go to Sachkhand? She said, no, I don't want to go to Sachkhand. I want to serve master. What does she mean by that? For her, for somebody who really devote themselves to do selfless service, selfless seva, they see only master, and at that moment, only master is real, and Sachkhand is not real. Sachkhand is another concept of the illusion for her. So I can understand why she's saying that. And for every one of us, if you want to make a rapid progress in this spiritual part, in this part of the master, you have to put yourself to do seva 24/7. And there are 3 kinds of seva. The first seva is seva with your body. The second seva is seva with your wealth. And the third seva is seva with your mind. When you be able to put your mind into seva 24/7, you will give up the other one too. Your body is at the service of the master. Your wealth is at the service of the master. And you will be totally a selfless person, because you already give up whatever you have, including your mind, to your beloved, to the highest authority, to a perfect living master. So therefore, it should be the main goal of this spiritual part of your own spiritual practice, not how much you progress on this spiritual part. The seva, the selfless service, should be the main ultimate goal for everyone as the disciple of a perfect living master.
Why do we have both sound current and light? Example, hearing and vision. These are 2 things that we experience inside. Why not just one of them? Why do we need to have both?
Well, when the Shabbat, the divine current that create this creation, coming down into the time and space, it separates into sound and it separates into light. Actually, when we experience, most of the time it comes together. Sometimes people who sit to listen to the sound, posture in meditation, they also experience light. They also experience vision at that time, because it's very, very hard to separate the sound and the light. But Master give the sound meditation and light meditation to us, just for us to practice, to focus on one thing at a time. But I would say that, the sound and the light, if you experience in Param level, it's merged to be one. And especially when you experience in such Khan, there's no sound and there's no light. And that's only the shepherd, the divine current that is start from there and flowing down into the creation.
How does the sound current and light help us in our inner progress?
It can help you greatly to know where you are at. Because in different realms, there are different light and different sound indication that you can know where you are at. For example, during the sound meditation, you heard a small bell sound. It means that your soul start to enter the astral level. And when you start to hear the large bell sound ringing, it means that sound coming from the causal plane. And when the sound pull you up, you will experience a Param level, the Sunya, Nirvana in Buddhism. So yes, it's the great indication that Master gives us the knowledge. But it doesn't mean that you have to look for it in your meditation. It doesn't mean that you have to look for star, moon, and sun or radiant form of the Master to greet us. It doesn't mean that you have to look for the small bell sound. It doesn't mean that you have to look for the large bell sound to pull you up. As I said previously, nobody will have the same experience because we are different expression from God, from the Creator. And most of initiate from a Param San Satguru, a perfect living master of Anami Lok. Those perfect living master of Anami Lok or representative from Anami Purush, they have very advanced disciple. And most of their disciple not experience the lower realm that much. When they get initiation, they will only experience love. And the love will continue to grow more and more every day. If they practice properly, if they put themselves in the selfless seva, selfless service for Master, then their divine love, their true unconditional love will start to grow more and more every day. And each time they come to see the physical form of the Master, it's like they've been charged up with that kind of love. So the love is overflowing. You can feel the love in the air. So that's the wonderment, the magic of the perfect living Master of the Anami Purush level.
That's it for today's satsang. Thank you, main speaker, for spending time with us for this satsang. If you want more information about ISTA Asia, please go to www.istaasia.com. You can also subscribe to our newsletter and email us any inquiries you may have regarding spirituality. You can also send your questions to seek.istaasia.com. Thank you for listening.